Hey guys, this is Gabriel Lorenzi, creator of the blog Grupo Dicas, one of the biggest travel blogs in the world, and today I am here to tell you where to stay in Aruba, what is the best region, which beach is the most beautiful, where are the best hotels, which one is the best located, close to other attractions, and tips on how to save a lot on lodging there. So stay tuned guys, because these tips will be quick, useful, and not boring at all. So like the video, subscribe to the channel because that helps us a lot, and that's it, buckle up. Well guys, Aruba is one of the most incredible destinations in the world. In fact, it was one of my favorites. I found that beach, the sea, the whole island an inexplicable thing. I really like it there and I recommend you to really travel there. It's a sure choice, you won't regret it. And we have already made several videos here. Today I did the one about how to set up your cheap trip to Aruba, the one about what to do in Aruba will follow, all the Aruba tips, how much does Aruba cost, and now we are going to do where to stay in Aruba. Aruba is an island, 30 kilometers size, so it's not that big, and the tourist part where there are hotels, restaurants, bars is centralized in one region, so it's not so difficult to choose because sometimes there are places that have several regions. You have to talk about pros and cons. In Aruba, the right choice is to stay in Palm Beach. Palm Beach is one of the most beautiful beaches there. It's where they have those gigantic resorts by the beach, and that's where the beach is the most beautiful. It's beautiful, the water there, the sea for you to bathe in. There's a restaurant, a bar, a very big structure nearby. There's a very famous market on the street behind the beach, and right next to it, a little bit down on the side, you will see that there is Eagle Beach, which is another beach that's right next to it, just a little bit away, about 4 or 5 minutes by car, but it's also another region worth considering. So we'll talk about both of them very quickly, but in our opinion, try to prioritize Palm Beach because that's where the heart and tourist part of Aruba is. So let's get to it. When you arrive in Aruba, the airport is in the middle of the island, then you have to go to the north of the island where the tourist part is. It'll take you about 10 to 15 minutes without traffic. It's very close, but sometimes there's a little traffic. It can take about 30 minutes. Once you get there, you will see that it's a very big structure. The beach is big and there are many things around. Seeing the map, you will notice that right on Palm Beach there are about 6 main resort hotels that are on the beach, which are giants, the big chains, several that stand out, but you will see that they are centralized right on the beach, on the map of Palm Beach. It's the best location. That is really where, if you can and if you can afford it, of course it's a little bit more expensive because it's the best location, the best resort hotels in Aruba. So if you can afford it, it's worth it to invest a little bit and stay there. You will see that behind there are many hotels and it will be cheaper. If you leave the beach and go a little further, about 8 or 5 blocks into the island, you will see that the prices sometimes drop by half. So if your idea is to save money, it's worthwhile to look at the map to see the hotels that are down there, or even the hotels in Eagle Beach, which is the beach next door, which also has a slightly better price. To make it easier for you, we created a personalized map. I'll leave the link below in the description of the video. We were able to build it inside the biggest hotel search engine in the world, of course, you know it. It is where we book our searches. I think it's the best place to book hotels, and there we were able to customize a map of Aruba showing only the hotels that have an 8 to 10 rating. So these are hotels that people liked, that don't have any serious problems, in the best location and the most recommended hotels. So click on the map below, it'll open, you close it, put the date of your trip in the search engine, search with your date, and open the map again. It will open the same map with the dates of your trip, with the value, availability, and so on. It's very easy to go looking through the map. You see that near the beach you put the little arrow on top and the values will appear. You'll be able to get a good notion of how much to spend, of the hotels, how many stars they have. It's a very good tool, so you'll be guided by this map, which is very good. And under the map, I'll also leave the links here in the description to the hotels that we have already visited, that we have already tried. There is a very good hotel in Palm Beach, a resort right on the sand that we thought was the best value for money, a sensational hotel. It's not all-inclusive. I'll explain a little bit here about the all-inclusive. It's not all-inclusive, but in our opinion, it's the best place to stay. We loved it. I'll leave it there. And I'll also leave a hotel that's much cheaper and is in Eagle Beach for those who want to focus more on getting to know the island, for sightseeing, not staying in a hotel. It's a very cheap, good option too, and much cheaper. So check it out here below. And an important tip, which is why we use this hotel search engine site, because it has a very good partnership with almost all the hotels in the world with free cancellation. Why is this very good? The best way to save on lodging, to save a lot of money, to get a good hotel at a good price is always in advance, especially in tourist destinations like Aruba. As time goes by, the rooms are sold out, the ones that are most cost effective, the cheapest ones, so there are only a few rooms left, and they go from week to week. In fact, it's a daily system and the prices go up, so sometimes in a matter of a month the price goes up. We have seen it go up a lot. So what we do, we enter the site, book a good hotel. We already like the hotel, a good price, we book it. If later on we have to change the dates, the hotel, whatever, we cancel it. The cancellation is free, there is no cost, no bureaucracy. You just have to cancel and make a new reservation, or not make a reservation at all. But this helps a lot. We have made reservations that after 2 or 3 months we got in and the price doubled. In Rome, we have seen the price double in a matter of a month and a half that we made in advance. So this is a general tip for all the places in the world. So check here on the website, almost all hotels there have free cancellation. So try to focus on getting your hotel in advance. This is going to help you save a lot of money. Now, a tip that's also important regarding the beaches, most of the beautiful beaches in Palm Beach, in Eagle Beach, are private. In Palm Beach, most of them, if you are not staying in the hotel, you can't stay on the beach. You can walk. We walked and strolled in front of the hotels, but you cannot stop. You cannot stay because it's for the exclusive use of those who are in the hotel. That is why in Aruba, if you invest in a nice hotel on a beautiful beach, on that nice beach, the most popular one, it ends up being nice because you have access to the beach. So the hotel ends up coming along with the whole beach, so it's good to choose your hotel carefully. There are public beaches, some, but in our opinion the ones we thought were the most beautiful, the coolest, were the ones in front of the hotels, the private beaches of the hotel, so we prefer those ones. Another extra tip, there is something there called day use, which is that you use the hotel for a day. Once we were on a cruise, we went down and stayed there only one day, and what happened, as you could only stay in public beaches, you couldn't stay in the good ones, you would have to spend money or rent. It was about $60–70 just to rent chairs and sun umbrellas, which are expensive on public beaches. What we did, we took a day use at the Hilton Hotel in Palm Beach, which is sensational. We ended up using the resort. You arrive at the reception, you tell them that you want the day use, and you end up hiring it. I think it was $120 per person, $120 for me and $120 for Olivia, and then we ended up using it and it was all included. So drinks were included, so we had about 4 or 5 drinks each. It was already worth the price. We had a chair, then you can use the whole structure of the hotel, the pool, everything, the changing rooms. We ate inside the restaurant, so it's very nice for those who are not staying. If you have a trip, or if you're going to save a lot of money staying in a hotel far away, take a day to enjoy a nice resort. It's called day use. I'll put it here for you. It's a day use, so it's worth it for you to put it in a situation like this. If you're going to enjoy a beach a lot, then it's worth staying directly at the hotel, which is cheaper. You stay there, you sleep, but it's a strategy for you to balance this style and see which one is better for your trip. And guys, if you have any questions, you can send them to us and we'll always try to help you as much as possible. And even easier and faster, add me on Instagram at @PaiLorenzi. Send a direct message through there that I try to help. Sometimes it takes a few days because a lot of messages accumulate, but I always try to answer to help. So follow me there, send me messages that you will like, and we are always traveling around the world, showing our life here in Orlando now that we are living in the United States. The routine with our daughters, outlets, parks, Disney, the trips we are going to make again now that everything's back to normal. So take a look there, you will like it. And there's the new channel of the Lorenzi family there on YouTube. If you can check it out, subscribe, watch the videos, because we are showing all the routines of our life in the United States and all the trips we make. I think you're going to like it. And in this region, you will be very close to restaurants, bars, you can do a lot of things on foot, but the island is 30 kilometers long and there are many nice beaches down there, and inside the island further south there are the historical parts that are very nice, that are the dunes. You will see a lot of sand like a mini desert in the middle of the island. It's a totally different landscape and it's a tour worth exploring. So what many people do, rent a car because the car there is cheap, cheaper than in almost every other place we have rented in the world, and there is no Uber there, only cabs. Cabs are in dollars and they are kind of expensive, so when you look at it, renting a car ends up being almost the same price or even more advantageous than using a cab, because just from the airport to the hotel you will already spend the tax, which is $30 to go and $30 to come back, so it's already $60, which is a considerable amount of money to rent a car for 5 days to stay complete. Sometimes is $250, so it's a cheap price, because if you take a cab to go from the north to the south of the island, it will be about $80-$70, so it's very worthwhile. Hotels usually have free parking, so try to look for a hotel with free parking. The one we stayed at, which I'll leave the link here below, had free parking, so it was very good. You don't need to spend any gas because the island is relatively small, so you don't make very long trips. It's all 20-30 minutes, so we thought it was very worthwhile to rent, but it's up to each one's criteria. Whoever is going to rent it, use the comparator. It's a great site that we use in all of our trips. I'll leave the link here below in the description as well. It compares the price in all rental companies. Go there, it's a very good site. It's the biggest car rental comparator in the world. It has car rentals from everywhere, including Aruba. You put there the airport of Aruba, the date of your trip, it searches in all car rental companies and shows you the lowest prices. It's cheaper than if you were checking it out separately at the car rental companies, because they have a very good negotiation, a very high volume. So it's the best place, it's the cheapest, you will save money renting there. So take a look down here, book in advance because it's much cheaper. Don't wait to book at the counter because it almost doubles the price, and sometimes they don't have the car models anymore, so doing things in advance is always better. We think it was worth it. For those who want to save a lot, there are the buses that work there, which are $2.50 a ticket, and they end up passing in front of the main hotels and some of the main tourist areas of the city. You can get around because sometimes it's very sunny, you have to wait, you lose a little time of your trip. But if you want to save money, the cheapest option is also the buses. You can save a lot of money going with them, there's no doubt about it. And now talking about all-inclusive, which is an important subject that everyone asks about. In many destinations like Cancun, Punta Cana, we recommend all-inclusive. We think it's worth it. We always stay in all-inclusives, but in Aruba we did a lot of math and research and we saw that all-inclusive is not worth it financially. It's cheaper to get a resort hotel like the one we stayed in, and then you pay for food and drinks on the side, unless you eat a lot and drink a lot, drink 10 drinks a day, eat several dishes all the time. Then you can even try to make it worthwhile, but for most people it is not. The price almost doubles. We found it too expensive and it was cheaper to pay for food and drinks on the side. Also because then you're not tied to the hotel. We would have lunch at the hotel next door, we would go to a little bar in the other hotel. You can have this flexibility. When you go all-inclusive you have to stay in that hotel, but for those who have the dream of staying in the all-inclusive, of course it's worth it. I'm talking about the financial issue. If you don't have a budget problem and you can spend, it's logical that staying in the all-inclusive is more enjoyable. You don't worry about paying anything, you eat and drink without any weight in your conscience, and the money has already gone. So it's a different style of trip. There are 2 or 3 hotels in Palm Beach. On the map you will see they are not all, but it's written there the name of the hotel and all-inclusive. It's because it's all-inclusive. So you check there, see which is the best option, and you get it. And down here in the description of the video, I'll leave all these links that I talked about for you to plan your trip. They are sites that have everything cheaper. Over the years traveling, we have found that each site has a better price and service. There is the car rental comparator, and just like this rental comparator, there is the travel insurance comparator. I'll leave it here too. It's very important not to travel without international travel insurance. It's very cheap. Like this comparator, it's $15. We paid for 5 days in Aruba, travel insurance that covered us for any expense and had coverage of $40,000 in medical assistance. It's a very cheap item that covers a lot of expenses that you may have abroad, so take out travel insurance for anywhere you go abroad outside your country. I'll also leave the travel chip for you to use your cell phone abroad, which is a very good chip. They deliver online. It's a digital chip that some cell phones already install automatically by QR code. It's a sensational service. It worked very well there for you to use on your trip as well, because having internet during the trip is very important. And that's it, guys. I hope you enjoyed the video. There are plenty of Aruba videos to check out. Watch what to do in Aruba, which is very good. How to travel cheap. I give you all the tips to save a lot. Everything you need to know about Aruba. I'll leave this video here on the side. It's very good with all the tips centralized. And below is the playlist that has all the other videos for you to watch. And that's it, guys. Thank you very much and have a nice trip.